blackamoor,
Ethiopian,
Negro,
free person of color,
yellow,
maroon,
musty,
dusky,
mulatto,
bright mulatto,
dark mulatto,
quadroon,
octoroon,
griff,
Creole,
Negro again,
colored,
Afro-American,
African American,
black.
From our arrival here in the Americas, we've been called so many things. The terms have changed over time, but the importance of codified racial categories has not.
It's like so important, so deep, so important.
But like, why?
I don't know, Easy. I don't know.
At the very foundation of America, our entire economy was based on racial categories. Who was allowed to own land, where you could live, how you were taxed, whether you were a slave, indentured, free, poor, or rich, was all determined by your racial category.
In 1790, the first U.S. census was managed by none other than your boy, Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, his views on race were not the best.
Jefferson believed that race was biological, and it determined a person's intelligence, beauty, even ability to experience complex emotions. His evolutionary hierarchy of the races went from the black man to him. He even came up with this quick little mathematical equation to help us understand racial categories. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, little a equals pure Negro, and capital A equals pure white. Now, the unit of blood of the issue,
That means kid.
H
So
over
let the second
plus
crossing
of little h
half
and
of a B.
capital B
over
little
two.
a
Blood
of
over
the issue,
four
or
plus
substituting
big A
for
over
h over
four.
2
Half
plus
of half
b
blood.
over
It will
2.
be.
Let
No,
the third
and that
crossing
equals
be of
Q.
Q.
Now,
They're
and
all
quarter
string will
Q
be
over
or
2. So
quadrant.
halfway,
Q,
what is C?
yes, plus,
Oh, I think
and that
half
means
another
C.
white fourth Negro.
So now it's 1/8 of A, so that the third cross, that third equation, clears the blood.
Did you say clears the blood?
That's what he said. It clears the blood of, I guess, pure Negroes. So, that's race math. What Jefferson is trying to say is that if a person had 1/8 or less black blood, which is one black great-grandparent, they would then be considered white. Did this change their status as a slave? No. But according to Jefferson, if that person were to be emancipated, they would enter the free world as a white American citizen, like these kids.
What?
Yeah, I know. It makes no sense.
What about the one-drop rule?
Well, that didn't start until after the Civil War, as a result of an emerging ideology based on pseudoscience called eugenics that said we could improve humanity through selective breeding.
Like dogs.
Yep. It became a social movement in the U.S. that included county contests for the best baby and fittest family and forced sterilizations of poor whites and minorities. Everyone was obsessed with racial purity. Well, everyone like
Hitler.
Yeah. Our eugenics movement inspired Hitler.
Girl, this is too much. Okay, so if what makes you black or blackamoor or quadroon or whatever can change so easily, what does it even mean?
I don't know. And when I don't know, I ask my mom. Hi, Mom. Thanks for being on the show.
Hello, AC.
We need to know something. What is race?
Okay, so basically, race is just classification, a way to classify people, and it's usually based on, or in this country especially, based on physical characteristics, genealogy, ancestry. The census is important because we need to count. We need to know what the population looks like. It's just like with anything else, planning. If you're having a dinner party, you want to know how many people are coming. It's the basis for so much, like Medicare. We need to have number of accounts for Medicare, Social Security, housing, schools, expenditures, how much money states are going to get from the federal government. All of that.
Is black the same as African American?
So this is the thing in terms of, again, federal surveys, census, data collection, the work that I do with the data that I use, we say black or African American. We usually put the two together. The really important reason for having black in there is because oftentimes if you have folks who are of African origin, in terms of their ancestry, but they're from the Caribbean, they don't necessarily identify as African American. They identify as Caribbean American. So then black would be more inclusive.
Which one of your daughters is your favorite?
As you know, I have no favorites, AZ. I have actually 3 favorite daughters. Don't ask me that again, AZ.
Okay, thanks, Mom.
Bye, AZ. Anytime. Love you.
Hey, Ev.
Don't call me that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that, Ev. My mom's great uncle was called a Griff in his military records.
Griff? That sounds like some Harry Potter stuff.
Well, you're not wrong. It comes from the word griffin, which means half lion and half eagle. It means half African American and half Native American.
So wait, the African American part is lion?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
You think I could bring it back, though? Like, maybe write it on the census under country of origin?
Girl, no. I am not trying to do math again. You are black.
Or am I African American?
I think I'm African American.
Oh, right, because you're from the real Africa.
Kenya, AZ. Kenya specifically. My parents are Kenyan, but I consider myself Black American.
Well, someone in my family was from the real Africa, like back in the day. I mean, look at me.
I see it.
And my mom is Pamunkey on one side and Nanticoke on the other.
Right. Eagle.
And other stuff, white stuff. But that's normal. Most Black Americans have white ancestry. Blackness is complex. Maybe that's why it's more popular than African American.
Hey, it's 2019. You can call yourself whatever you want to.
So, Griff.
No. God, AZ, no. I think I need to talk to some real black people about this.
Okay.
So we're out here, Austin, Texas, trying to find black folks walking around. I live here. I know it's kind of tough, but we're going to do it. We're going to have people answer the question of the video. I am here with
Jeremiah.
Thank you, Jeremiah. And the question of the day is, when someone asks you, what's your race? Do you say black or African American?
I say black. I would like to identify as African American, but I don't know anything about African culture. I'm just ignorant on that fact. It's a completely different culture as far as what they go through, as far as how their upbringing is, their parents, teaching them the food that they eat, stuff like that.
I encounter a lot of like first generation like African students, like Nigerian students, things like that. And so I feel like when I say, I mean, they could also say that they're black. When I say African American, it's like, I mean, technically they're African American too, but it's more of like the didn't come to America by choice kind of thing.
Right.
So like, I just feel like black is more of the uniting thing, because no matter like what country you're from, you're still like black and you.
I will say either. First of all, my idea on race, I feel like I know is a little bit different than everyone else's. As far as I'm a Christian, I'm a follower of Jesus, and so I believe this idea of how we try to categorize ourselves, it could be a good thing and a bad thing. But at the end of the day, I don't allow it to take away from my walk with God.
I would say it depends on the situation and who I'm talking to. For the most part, I'll say black if I'm talking to someone who would identify similarly. However, if I'm talking to someone who wouldn't identify that way, I'd say African American, just because I want them to call me that. So I don't want to say I don't want them to call me.
Okay. Still no consensus.
Okay. It's time to call on the big dogs.
Okay, everyone. We've called you here today for the very important task of deciding once and for all what we should call people of the African diaspora. So, any ideas?
What is a name to the Negro? If he till the field, he is a Negro. If he work the mill, he is a Negro. If he sing anthems to extol the praises of his America and fight under its banner, he is still a Negro.
So, one for Negro. If this cat thinks I'm gonna call myself a Negro, he's got another thing coming, Jack. I'm black. Black as the night sky, black as the pit they try to keep us in, you dig?
So you think we should be called black and not African American?
Black as the womb we came from in our mother Africa. Black is beautiful.
But what about us mulattoes?
Oh my God, you can't say that word anymore. I'm gonna tweet this.
Well, what can I say? Free people of color?
I don't see color.
A friend of mine had that condition. A few teaspoons of mercury should clear it right up. It's the syphilis.
Okay, all right. Miss Sojourner Truth, do you have a preference on what you'd like to be called? Ain't I a woman?
Okay, well, we've got some choices, so maybe we should vote.
But colored people can't vote. That's how come we're having this meeting.
No, we can vote. If you're a man, ain't I a woman?
What is the vote to the Negro slave?
Can't say slave anymore.
Make a decision. All right?
If the Negro
Ain't
is a
woman.
slave,
That's all
shall
you
he
need
vote
to know.
for
That's
slavery?
as far as I've gotten,
Shall he
okay?
vote against
I can
it?
only do so much.
Who will tally
all right?
the votes
I'm
of
leading
the
the way.
slaves?
I am a black.
If I
I'm
am a
leading
slave,
the way.
shall I
Searching for
not
a
be
black
right
king.
here on the front line?
Your color.
We need to revolutionize.
That's
We need to
the way
weaponize.
it is.
We need to
Bring out
militarize.
the
That's
That's
enough. Look, I don't think we're getting anywhere. Of course not. You won't. You'll never come to a consensus on who we are or what we should call ourselves, because black is not a monolith and all of our experiences are valid. Huh. Well, there's only one thing left on the agenda then. Dance!
Yes, thank you. Finally.
Okay, so this video raises some questions. I need for you to be extremely honest in the comments when answering them. And just so you know, I have 4 questions. Number 1, do you prefer to be called Black or African American? Number 2, have you ever heard of racial math? Number 3, why do you think the titles keep changing? You know, Black, African American, Negro, etc. Number 4, what did you learn from this video? Now, please be honest in the comments when answering these questions. Share this video with anyone you deem necessary, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.